Hey guys, me Dave. So I thought I'd do a video. It's Friday. It's 26th, I think. Friday, June 26th, 2026. So I just thought I would do a little video. Um, every time I make a video, I got my window open, but people come around like outside. So let me see if I can just move. Ugh. Can't really move that good. And I have to hide myself a little bit. You think you have privacy in your apartment, but you don't. Okay, so I just thought I would do a video. It's 8 o'clock. Well, now it's almost 8:30. I'm up. Um, you know, I got about 3 hours of sleep, and it woke me up at 5 o'clock, making me vibrate. Legs vibrate. Just you can't sleep when they're doing that. So I try to stay in bed as long as I could. They're making me vibrate. Then I lay on my side, and they're hitting me in the ass. So it's like, they're going to make you get up. It's either that or, call 911. And I know they don't want me going back to the hospital because I was just there on Tuesday, you know. So, uh, woke up, made coffee, sitting here. My mom has to come to work today, so she'll probably be here around 10:30. Probably stop in here. Um, I tell you, man, some of these guys are good actors. They got a couple that moved in just a couple weeks ago. Okay, so this couple, they carry dolls back and forth to the car. And you're like, what? It's like, why would you degrade yourself so much to carry dolls? And my mom said, well, they do that because they can't have kids. So they carry around these dolls. Now they drive. The guy drives, and he has a nice car. It's a Hyundai, nice car. Um, so he just came out now. He kind of acts like he's mentally challenged. Drives normal. You see him coming fast into the parking lot like a normal person. I just seen him leave like 10 minutes ago. Totally looked normal, like almost like you could see the guy in a suit and tie type government person. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable. When I was in the fake psych ward for the first time, it was 11 days, torture to hell. Um, they had me room with this fat guy. He kind of reminded me of Brian too. Would do anything for money, degrade yourself. Um, so they had him. I mean, he was wearing his regular clothes, and they had him wear a diaper. He was wearing a diaper almost the whole time, 11 days. Big fat guy, I mean, it looked like he was walking on eggshells for, um, I don't know, for God or something. But, it's just amazing that some of these guys will degrade themselves, you know, to the point where they're going to wear a diaper. Now, I don't think that guy was government directly. I think that guy was probably a contractor. Um, but he was up. I was up like 11 days. I slept 1 day out of 11 days, and he was up just as much as I was up, wearing a diaper. Oh, they said they were going to do all this stuff to me. They were going to drag me in the back of a truck. Um, and they would, they would say, we're going to tie him up and drag him from a truck. But his pants are kind of long, so we got to roll him up. You know what I mean? But it didn't click. You're being tortured. There's so many other things, distractions, keeping your mind, I don't know, lit up, I guess, like a pinball machine or whatever they're doing. And, so they would say stuff like that. And, uh, like, haha, your pants are too long. But they can put you in a state of fight or flight. And you really do believe people are after you. And you believe that these people are going to hurt you and all this stuff. I mean, it was horrible. And then I got out, tortured me for 9 months, went back to the psych ward for 5 weeks. And that fat guy, he had a daughter. I know because they were in front of the house at the beginning of my program, pretending like they were protecting me and all this stuff. So, I knew that was his daughter. So his fat daughter was in the psych ward with me the second time. She was there every day. Just sitting there getting paid, probably a lot of money. So, but they act and they degrade themselves. Now this guy looked like a different guy. He walked out to the car, hit his fob, opened the door, put some stuff in the back seat, and left. I was like, holy crap! The guy looked like a totally different guy. It's unbelievable. Some of them are really good actors and all this stuff. I'm telling you, a lot of these FBI people and even CIA, the CIA, of course, isn't supposed to be working in the U.S., but you would never know. You could be sitting on a bus and there could be an old lady collecting intelligence for the FBI right next to you. Or if you're in another country, the CIA, You would never know. If you were, a terrorist or whatever, I mean, it really is unbelievable, the things they showed me. And, the thing is, there's a lot of stuff that I won't talk about. There's just a lot of stuff I won't talk about with my family. I'm not going to go on Facebook like Brian too and announce all this stuff that they show me. And I really, honestly, I just want my life back and I want to move on. That's it. My first priority is to go see Tanner. That's it. I want to be able to walk and go down there and get Tanner and bring him up here for a couple hours. Say, this is where I've been. He doesn't understand where I've been for the last year. I just want to forget about all this stuff. I don't want to write books and try to get millions. Do I want compensation? Of course I do. Yes, I want compensation. But I'm not trying to get famous off this crap. Like Kathy O'Brien. I don't know if she's real. She could be an agent for all I know. I think she even did like a Netflix documentary, and she's writing books and, trying to make money off this stuff. I don't think she's making a lot of money off this stuff. selling a few thousand books. But I'm not like that. Brian Two's out there. He's just he's asking for it. I mean, I think he's a total contractor, actor. I think that's why he was in third world countries. It's you can you can hand the doctor a couple $100 and tell her what to say. You know what I mean? Or you can go to a hostel and slip somebody $50. It's like $1,000 to them. Where now he's back in the U.S. and he's not doing that stuff. He's doing it a little bit here and there, but not that much. You know, the guy makes $6,000 a month. Kyle. I thought Kyle was real. He ain't real. I thought James Lico was real. He's not real. Dr. Horton, she's fake. Romola D, totally fake. Totally fake. But it doesn't click. I mean, you can go years without it clicking. Like, oh yeah, well they said part of my life. They said part of my program. You know, Jeff Medora, fake. They're all fake. Duncan, total perp, totally CIA. You know, uh, what's that guy's name? No, I can't think of his name. Um, uh, oh, that conspiracy guy on X, the one that got sued. He's totally a shill. What's his name? But yeah, so anyway, I'm not gonna get into all that. I just want to move on, man. I'm ready to move on. I want to walk. I haven't walked by myself in a year. I do want to go see Tanner on Monday. I have to get pills for Tanner. Anyway, I'll go back to what I'm going through. So it's okay. So it's Friday. We pretty much did the exact same thing last Friday, except I think I ended up calling 911, and they talked me out of going to the hospital. We went on Tuesday. I know they don't want me to go again. I mean, if they torture you to the point where you're calling, they're gonna talk you out of going, and hopefully they'll stop or whatever. But sometimes they don't stop. So, but I don't think they want me going again, because we're just there on Tuesday. So, in therapy, I think the only reason why they put me in therapy is to try to keep my ass out of the hospital. No intentions on letting me walk. They showed me if they lay off me, I can walk just fine. They showed me that a couple times. You know, they showed me that. Like, if we stop, you'll be able to walk. So never needed therapy in the first place. Um, so it's a repeat. Okay, so therapy stopped May 25th, and today's June 25th. Okay, now we have been. I went to the hospital 3 times last month, and I went 3 times this month. If I think, like I say, I think they put me in therapy to try to keep me out of the hospital. Um, and it was nice to have people around, to be honest, just to have an hour of company was helpful, you know, um, a couple times a month or whatever, and stuff. But so I mean, we're already starting. We went 3 times last month and 3 times this month already. It's not, the month ain't even over yet. So they don't care, you know? So we're going through the exact same thing, same pattern. They want to send me to the hospital every Tuesday and Thursday, you know? And then, or Friday. So this is why I hate the weekends, because I don't like being here on the weekends. I think people are around, but they think they're not around. Just like they'll start torturing you after 4 o'clock every day. You know, like people go home at 4. You know what I mean? I mean, a guy's being, tortured to death here. I don't think they punch out at 4 o'clock. So it's stupid. Anyway, I don't mean to tell you my life story. That's what's going on with me. It's a repeat of last Friday. So if I lay down, I lay down at 3 until 4 to get off my butt. And then I lay down again at 5 until 6. I just do that every day to give my butt a rest. And then you lay down, they're hitting your ass. Feels like somebody's sticking something up there. So anyway, that's what's going on with me, you guys. Oh, I was gonna mention the MK Ultra thing. Uh, Investigations, they're calling it. They're just having a journalist, and they're having a guy from Brown University there. So I don't know how serious this hearing is, if it's really going to become anything. I don't know if anything's going to stop. I mean, I hope I can walk again, but you might be gang stalked again and all that type of stuff. I really don't know. I mean, there's no big people there, so I don't know how that's going to go. But anyway, I'll talk to you guys later.